channel, you guys. I hope you have found a home. If you have not subscribed yet, please do subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and like, share, comment. So today we're going to be talking about Isithunywa, all right, which basically is a Zulu word that translates into what? The messenger. As we know, right, there are a whole lot of different type of spiritual gifts, and I do believe that each and every one of us, right, has been gifted with something. All right, I was reading the book of Corinthians actually this morning, and it does talk about spiritual gifts. All right, so 1 Corinthians 12, right, talks about what diversity in the church, if I may read, right? It says there are different kinds of what? Spiritual gifts, but the same Spirit. There are different forms of service, but the same God or the same Lord. There are different workings, but the same God, right, who produces all of them in everyone. Basically, this verse is telling me that all gifts come from God. Even though our spiritual gifts may not work the same, but they stem from the same source. They stem from the same Lord. They stem from the same God. All right, so we don't all have to be the same. We don't all have to work the same. But there's one thing that we all share in common, which is what? The Creator, the Source. That is how I'm going to open up my segment. So welcome to another episode of Life is Spiritual. Now that we have actually touched on spiritual gifts, there are different types of spiritual gifts. I believe that each and every person has got a gift that they came into this world with, and they're not going to be the same. Some people, let's say, are gifted singers, all right? They have, a great singing voice. They have a great singing ability that is able to transcend. Some people can stand on a pulpit and preach, all right, and when they speak the word, right, it transforms lives. That's a spiritual gift. Some people have gifts, they're gifted in their hands, all right. Maybe they can produce things and make things, they can cook, all right, but all these gifts come from what? The source. So yes, not all of us are going to have the same type of spiritual gift. So then there's people like us who have gifts, all right, that are for what? Helping people spiritually. And in these spiritual gifts, there are different types and there are different categories. So today we're going to talk about Isithunywa, the messenger, the person who is sent into what? Into the world, right, to do a particular thing, to heal, to preach, transform lives, to help, to be a leader. There's a lot of information out there that confuses people. Isithunywa is a gift from the source. It's a pure, clean spirit, a pure, clean, calm spirit from the source, a very universal energy. Isithunywa is not necessarily your grandmother or your grandfather that went to church, because that is some of the information that is out there. It comes from the source, and you might find that in your lineage, right, there were people who also had this gift of Isithunywa that came from the source, who were also permitted, to do the type of work that you are now being chosen to do. So what God does is that then he uses your spiritual guides. He will use your ancestors, all right, to transmit certain messages to make you realize that, hey, you also have the spirit, all right, of Isithunywa. That is why then we dream, all right, of coming to relay certain messages. They are tapping into that universal energy to say that when I was alive, I also used to do this type of work. Isithunywa, guys, is something that I don't even think we can fathom. Just as much as we can't fathom who God is or that universal energy, and we couldn't even stand for it if it were to present itself in front of ours. Isithunywa is a very, very big concept. All right, so if you're dreaming of a grandmother Pika, or you're dreaming of a grandfather Pika, yes, they are tapping into that universal energy to say that we are also part of what this energy pool of the Thunya barumetsweng, all right, to do a particular thing where on earth. So yes, they will use a familiar face to show you and present to you that you are part of this energy pool, you are part of the messengers, you are somebody who walks with angels, you are somebody who walks with higher powers, you are somebody who walks with this clean spirit of God to do certain things on this world, in this realm, at this time. I hope I'm making sense. Thunywa is a very, very clean spirit. All right, these are the type of spirits that don't deal right with uncleanliness. They don't deal with unholiness. Cleanliness is next to godliness. Being clean, right, in your environment, being clean within yourself, having a pure heart. You have to have a pure heart. You have to have a clean heart. You have to have a heart that actually wishes people well. A heart that loves people, right? Because the Spirit of God, right, is next to what? Cleanliness. If you are a child of Isithunywa, you are going to need a lot of alone time. Because this spirit, I find, is a very silent spirit. It thrives in you being still, in you listening to yourself, in you being quiet, in you being clean. Also gonna have to spend a lot of time, seeking from within, being prayerful. All right, so prayer gives it fa sethunya sa hao matla wa bona ha o rapela sethunya sa hao sa hola, sethunya sa hao sa matlafala, sethunya sa hao sa tlhalefa in order to see change. So we need to stay pure, we need to stay clean, we need to stay prayerful, we need to be in still spaces as banabadi Thunya. So if you are a child of Thunya, you're gonna definitely find yourself drawn to yourself a lot of the time. Being quiet, being still, listening to what your guides are telling you in that point of time. Isithunywa, the messenger, right? You are there to guide people. You are there to give certain messages. You are there to illuminate certain things. You are there to dream for people. You are there to warn people. All sorts of things you are there for. Isithunywa is one type of spiritual gift that we can find. So remember to keep yourself clean. And how do we keep ourselves clean? Look into the things that we eat. What are we eating? Are we eating greasy foods? Are we eating fatty foods? Cleanliness. Are we drinking enough water? You know what I'm saying? Are we getting in that H2O? Are we eating our fruits and vegetables? Because we have to realize that we are spiritual beings. So everything that we ingest and everything that comes, whether through the mouth or whether through things that we watch, all right, what are we consuming now on a daily basis? Try to keep it clean. The type of dreams that you will have if you are somebody who works with the spirit of Isithunywa, you are definitely going to dream of yourself preaching to people. You will dream of yourself healing people. I had a lot of dreams where I was praying for people, right, in my dreams. Your prayer as Isithunywa is very imperative, is very powerful. All right, and because we walk with these angels and because we walk with these guides, it's almost as if, you know, we have a direct line to God himself. So dreaming of praying for people, dreaming of healing people, sekolo. Bana ba Ithunywa, you're going to dream a lot about school. However, it does depend on what the dynamic of the school is. All right, because just because it's a school dream doesn't necessarily indicate Ithunywa, but it is one of the dreams that can indicate that, okay, unali Ithunywa. You're going to dream as Ngwana was Ithunywa, you're going to dream of certain types of regalia. There are different types, there are different colors, which mean different things. All right, you might see yourself wearing this regalia. You might see yourself, them handing you this regalia. So with me, some of the regalia, yes, I was given, but some of it I would now dream of people that I know wearing it and coming to me, you know, in dreams like that. You're gonna dream a lot about spiritual robes, the bitani, all right, and colors. What kind of colors are these bitanis, right? There are so many other things that you can dream of. You can dream of flying. You constantly flying in helicopters, you constantly flying above the air, you know. You could dream of certain church uniforms as well. You could dream of certain beads as well that can connect you to this universal energy and the type of Ithunywa that you have.